Hey out there, and welcome. I'm Kate, and I'm glad you're here. So today's practice are for those days when everything hurts, because honestly, right now, everything hurts. So some days, if I'm in a kind of low energy, sluggish place, I know I can hop on my mat, I can do a quick vigorous practice, and I'll push through and feel better for doing it. Some days when I'm feeling sluggish and low battery, I need a low battery practice, and that's where we're going today. So we're gonna need a lot of props if you've got them, a couple of blocks. I have 3 blankets. 3 blankets aren't necessary. I'm being extra cushy with this one. 2 towels will do just fine. If you want the extra padding underneath you, you can go for that as well. We're gonna do some resty poses and some stretchy poses. Find a quiet spot, roll out your mat, and let's get resting. Okay, so we're gonna start on our backs, but we're gonna start on our backs with the blankets. So grab your blankets, and we're gonna open them up so they're in their big rectangle, and do a burrito fold. So we go into the thirds, and we've got like a nice kind of flat roll, and we're gonna do that with both. That's it. You may find that 2 is too much, so 1 is suitable for you, perfectly fine. Just kind of see how it goes as you go, right? And we're gonna take those puppies and we're just gonna lay them down the length of the mat. I'm gonna slide mine up toward the top edge. And then you can take a seat at the back edge of the mat. And oh my gosh, lay back. And take a couple of breaths. You may find that this is a really big curve for your low spine. So you may want to slide this one forward just a hair. It feels a little intense for me today. So I'm going to give myself a little step. It's much better. Okay. And then get yourself comfortable. You can take this top edge and roll it up so you got a little headrest. We're getting cushy. I wasn't lying. And then situate yourself. Your arms can come out to the sides. Your knees can stay bent. Feet wide, maybe your knees knock in toward each other. If you want a little extra, you can bring the soles of your feet together. You can even use your blocks to settle underneath your thighs here, or you can stretch your legs out straight. You get to pick. It's like a yogi's choose your own adventure. And once you've picked, just let your eyes close. And feel yourself relax onto the blanket. Feel the length of your spine where it rests. Feel the back of your head settle down as you relax the muscles in your neck, your cheeks, your jaw, even that space between your eyebrows and those muscles around your ears. Let it all soften. And as you breathe here and you start to tune in with what's going on in your body, feel the weight of your arms and your legs drop down, and notice if there's any place where you're still feeling tense or, I don't know, tight. And maybe you can use your breath to start to soften in. And we're just going to start this class by relaxing as much as you possibly can. That's it. And I'm going to invite you into other postures as we go, but if you want to stay in this one for the next 20 minutes, or however long we end up being here, then that's okay too. All right, if you're gonna move along with me, then you're just gonna start to move your fingers and wiggle your toes, and maybe roll some circles with your ankles and your wrists. And let your arms rest down again, and maybe let your feet go a little bit side to side. I'm gonna wake up your legs a bit here. Then you're gonna bend your knees and walk your feet in, and take your arms and stretch them up, straight up, Arm bones plug in. Just take your arms, stretch them back. We don't need to go turbo here. We're just going to reach them back. Take a breath. And when you exhale, you're just going to come down and around. You can keep your knees bent or straighten your legs. Inhale, take your arms up and back. Exhale, bring them down and around. And just keep going. Maybe it feels good to bend your elbows into a cactus while you come down and around. Just trying to work into those shoulders as easily and as gently as we can here. One more. And down and around, and let those arms rest down by your sides. And pause. And I hate to say it, but we're gonna roll to one side, just gently. And press into both hands and come on up. And we're gonna keep the blankets maybe in this roll, but move them to the side. There we go. All right. And then make your way into table. And set yourself up, and then a couple of rounds. Cat and cow. Inhale. Stretch your chest forward. And exhale, curl it in. And again. And just work with your breath. Don't worry about making it perfect or anything at all. Just trying to find any stickiness along the length of your spine and just trying to work into that a little bit. You got it. One more rounded spine. Then come back into your table, and you're just going to start to work some circles. Your hips. And then in the other direction. You got it. And come back through your table. Take your knees wide. Big toes slide together. You're going to walk your hips back to your heels and find a child's pose where you can maybe grab a block underneath your forehead or stack your palms. And try to rest your forehead down. And feel the back of your body melt toward the floor. Find a softness through your upper back, the back of your neck. And take your breath and send it into your low back. If you can, imagine that every breath in makes some space down there. And every breath out brings some release. You got it. One more breath here. Beautiful. All right. Then we're going to come on back up into your table and grab your blocks. We're going to place them underneath your hands. And take your right foot and you're going to step it outside. So you can bring the blocks a little to the left and you're just going to step your right foot to the outside of your right block. And you can keep those hands on the blocks. You can keep your arms straight as you sink your hips and just lift up into your chest. And while you're here, if you want to drop your chin to your chest, give your head a little shake side to side, maybe draw a little smiley faces with your chin. Does that even make sense? Sure it does. Just let it sway side to side. And on your next inhale, feel your head lift, but don't let it kind of rock back. Keep it in line as best you can as you lift your chest. You're going to spin your right toes open just a hair and maybe roll toward the outer edge of your foot. Doesn't have to be a big movement. Doesn't have to be anything at all. You can just open those toes. And maybe rock a little bit side to side. And as you do, let your head kind of go with the sway. I'm trying to multitask some stretches into that neck. You got it. All right, and then you're gonna spin back onto that right foot and just slide your hips back. You can bring the blocks back with you. And we're gonna come into like a wide Ardha Hanuman. That foot's still out to the right. It's all good. Relax through your shoulders. And as you pull your sitting bones back, feel that right heel like it digs into the floor. That's it. And then we're gonna rock forward. Bring those blocks with you. And then from here, you're gonna take the blocks a little bit farther forward. And maybe it feels good to lower onto one forearm. Maybe it feels good to lower onto the other forearm. Maybe you're thinking you are crazy. If you are, it's okay, stay upright. We're not gonna be here for too much longer, but we are gonna kind of relax if we can through your neck and your shoulders. You got it. And then walk your hands back underneath you. Come on up. Pull your hips back. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Step that right foot back. And you can get rid of the blocks for a moment. And we're going to sway a little bit side to side. Take those hips and knock them around. You got it. And then you're going to walk the arms forward. So you bring your forearms to the floor. So we're in like kind of a longer forearm table, and then walk the elbows forward a little bit more. So you're on the backs of your elbows. Press your palms together. You're going to pull your arm bones in and just kind of sink your hips back. So those upper arms hug into the sockets. You can press your palms together. Let your forehead drop toward the floor. Feel your chest relax down. You got to keep pressing into those elbows ever so gently. And then you're going to press into those elbows enough so you can come on back up. Oh, okay. Grab your blocks. We're going to take them a little bit to the right, just a hair. Unstep that left foot forward. Come into your lizard on this side and just situate yourself so you can feel your chest lift. Tuck or untuck those back toes, whatever works for you. You're going to drop your chin to your chest for a moment and start to work those kind of those arcs back and forth with your chin. You got it. And then you're going to lift your head. Keep your neck in line. Don't go super crazy trying to crane your head back. Press into those blocks. Feel your chest lift. And breathe. Let yourself settle in and maybe have a kind word or two to say to your hips. Instead of cursing them like we generally do when we're practicing, maybe a kind word for that front right hip flexor and that outer left hip. And then you're going to slide your hips back into this Ardha Hanuman. You can bring the blocks with you, staying wide out to the left. Feel your sitting bones pull back and root into that left heel. Okay, we're gonna rock forward again. You ready for it? Rock it forward. And then take those blocks and bring them forward a bit, just a hair. And we're gonna lower onto that right forearm, maybe. Lower onto the left forearm. You can untuck those toes. Soften if you can. And then slide those blocks back a bit. We're gonna come on up and spin your toes out to the left, just a hair, roll onto the outer edge of your foot. And rock a little bit side to side here. Be gentle with yourself. That's what this is all about today. Okay, then pull your hips back. Gonna step back into table. And again, get rid of those blocks for a moment. And you're gonna take your knees gently, maybe wide, maybe together, whatever works for you. Pull your hips back to your heels, and we're gonna pause in a child's pose. Okay, and then you're gonna prop yourself up on your elbows when you're here in child's pose. You're gonna take your left arm, we're gonna do a thread the needle, but we're not gonna twist the torso. So, take your left arm and thread it underneath, and you're gonna come, let me move this out of the way here. You're gonna slide this left arm all the way through, but keep your chest parallel to the mat here. You can walk the right hand forward, and you're gonna sink your forehead down, sink your chest down, and just breathe. And you want to feel your chest as square as it can be toward the mat. And you can add a little oomph if you want. Press into the back of that left arm. It's like a mix between thread the needle and child's pose and I don't know what else. But take another breath. Okay, and then slide that right forearm underneath you. Gonna come on out for a moment and pause. And then second side, right? You're gonna take that right forearm, thread it underneath. Try to keep your chest square to the mat, and you're gonna sink the weight of your chest down. You can take this arm kind of down away from you a bit. And then, rest onto your forehead. If it feels super intense and you want a little more support under your forehead, you can bring a block underneath it or your extra blankets. If it's really uncomfortable to be in this child's pose, you can come into a traditional thread the needle kind of from table if you want. I like this, it has a little more leverage. All right, slide that left forearm underneath you. Come on up. Slide that right arm out. Okay, here we go. We're gonna come on up into your table. Sway those hips, and then sweep your right leg back. Push through your heel. Take that left leg back. Push through your heel. Okay, a couple more rounds of cat and cow. All right, from here, you're gonna walk your knees in toward your hands and take a seat back on your heels. You're gonna take your knees a little bit wider. Lean your fingertips back, and you're just gonna lean back. You can bend your elbows, and then press into your hands, feel your chest lift up. Then you're gonna press into your hands, press into your shins, and lift your hips and feel them press forward. Yeah, you got it. Inhale. And then exhale, hips back down to the floor. Come on upright for just a moment and pause. Okay? All right, so now we're gonna grab the blankets again. And I like to do this with blocks because I'm not as flexible in the hamstrings as I, want to be. So you can grab your blankets here. If you have a bolster, you can absolutely grab your bolster, but I'm going to build a little L here and then stack, and I'm going to bring my feet wide. You can kind of take them as wide as you feel comfortable coming in. You can keep them at a not too deep. You know what I'm saying? Pick your angles. And then we're just going to lengthen up and we're going to fold forward. And once you get there, you might find that you need to kind of bend your knees, soften it a little bit. If you feel like this blanket is super far away, you can make a little curve up. Oh, that's even better. I like to hug the blocks, but you can pick what you want to do here. You can bring your forehead to the block or to the blankets. You can bring your cheek to the blocks. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here. And normally I say that you want to work the legs, right? But just let your legs relax. You got it. Keep breathing. And if you've been on one cheek, maybe switch cheeks. And notice if you're tight or tense anywhere, and maybe you can relax. Couple more breaths, smooth and steady. And slide your hands underneath you, and you're going to push yourself away. Come on up. Grab your blankets. And we're going to move them to the side. Grab one of your blocks, move the other one to the side, and then you're going to walk yourself forward just a bit. We're going to go for a little supported bridge here so you can relax all the way down. Grab that block, right? And you're going to push into your feet, lift your hips. And take a moment just to pause here. Let the weight of your pelvis, just drop into the block. It's like instant relief. All right, then you're going to grab your right knee, pull it in, stretch your left leg out, and extend through that left leg, but you don't have to go super crazy. Just pull the right knee in and down. Take a breath here. Inside out. And we're going to switch. Right foot down, left knee in, extend that right leg out. Push through that right heel, maybe about 40%. And use your hands to pull the left leg in. Really, I'm just trying to prep you for this next pose that I learned just recently and I thought was super fun, so I wanted to share it. Take a breath in and sigh it out. Okay, you're gonna drop that left foot to the floor, bring the right foot next to it. From here, you're gonna push into your feet, lift your hips, and feel yourself just kind of lower down nice and slow, and let your knees bop gently side to side. And then they're gonna bop so far to the side that you can roll to one side and come on up. All right. So here we go. You're going to grab both your blocks. So here's my disclaimer. If this feels like trash, then don't do it. You can undo the legs and just lay on the blocks as we're set, right? If it feels great, hopefully it feels great. I was super dubious when I learned this, and I actually kind of love it. So you're going to come to sit on your feet here and take your knees wide. All right, and we're going to lay back And you're gonna grab one of these blocks and it's gonna go underneath your shoulders. One of these blocks is gonna go underneath your head, and maybe you're thinking, oh my gosh, you're crazy. Just try to kind of eyeball it. We're gonna start by lifting your hips, lengthen your tailbone, and we're gonna lower down onto those forearms. And I gotta move mine. Oh, right, so you wanna kind of jostle that around. Oh my goodness. And then take the block to the back of your head. Oh. And take a couple of breaths here. If this feels like super intense on your low back, you can press into your shins, lift your hips, and try to scoop your tailbone. Or you can unfold your legs. You can take your knees wider, all sorts of variations here. You don't have to keep your legs like this. I just felt like it was kind of luscious and wanted to share it. So find a place where you can rest and relax and breathe. Feel yourself sink into the blocks. Maybe say another kind thing or two to yourself, to your body. It doesn't always have to be a struggle, right? Let's be harmonious with these bodies of ours. Couple more breaths here. And you're going to slide your forearms underneath you. Maybe it helps to grab your feet. You're going to push up, 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 up. Sweep your feet to one side, stretch them out. And grab your blankets again. We're going to finish here in a Shavasana. So you're going to grab one blanket, roll, and put it underneath your knees here. And you can get rid of the blocks. If you feel like you want a little extra, you can take the blocks on maybe underneath your calf. Ooh, maybe underneath your calves. Let's try it. Or underneath your heels. Maybe the calves feel good. And then you're going to take this one blanket and we're going to bring it underneath the head. And if you want, you can lay it back and then take the end of the blanket. I'm being super awk. You probably are too. It's okay. Let's be awk together. And roll up the edge of the blanket. Oh, so it's like a little cushion for the back of your neck. Oh my goodness. And relax here. If you're still in the very first pose, this pose could be really good for you. Maybe you want to just transition from that one to this one. Give yourself these next few moments to just enjoy this softening in your body. Enjoy the fact that you're being kind of cushioned and held up and supported by these wonderful props. Enjoy the fact that you picked this one today. You opted to be gentle with yourself. Sometimes that's the biggest win. When we choose to be gentle with ourselves instead of struggling and fighting against what we really need, which is to lay on our mats with all the blankets and all the blocks. So please, please, please stay here as long as you need to. When you feel like you are ready to come out, you can move your fingers and your toes. Maybe roll some circles in your feet. You're going to bend your knees, walk your feet in. And roll to one side. And pause. And press into the strength of your arms. Come on up. And get comfortable one more time. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. And sigh it out. Bring your palms together into Anjali Mudra and bow your head and honor this time on your mat and honor the wisdom that it took for you to recognize that what you needed was rest today. It's such a hard choice to make. And know that this is yoga just as much as the chaturanga, vinyasa, crazy hard classes that we do here too. This is just as important, if not more so. So thanks for being here. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. If you have a friend who needs some rest, please share this. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you want more of this or more of something else. And as always, hit that subscribe button. It's super supportive for me and my channel. Thanks a bunch. Make it a great day.